The majority of computers nowadays have a UEFI or a undefined extensible firmware interface. Most computers today will come with a UEFI, which provides additional features and addresses security issues with the older legacy BIOS. UEFI is a software technology that prepares a computer to boot up into an operating system. Manufacturers may continue to label their UEFI programs with uh, BIOS so that their users know that they're supporting the same functions. UEFI can provide a mouse-enabled software interface instead of a traditional BIOS screens. UEFI can run on a 32-bit and a 64-bit systems. Also supports larger boot drives.
If, if a device is malfunctioning, an error or beep code alerts the technician of the problem. The picture displays a screen capture of a sample power self-test being performed. Yeah. The computer checks whether the computer hardware is operating correctly. The POST checks the main components of the computer. To determine if POST is working properly, remove all the RAM modules from the computer and power it on.
BIOS and CMOS, they're needed in all motherboards. BIOS is a ROM chip in the motherboard that holds a small program. The program controls communication between the operating system and hardware. Um, it also identifies which drives are usable and rebootable, and hosts and BIOS together identify which drives are available and bootable. Also, how the memory is configured and when you use it.
So seeing as the BIOS and the UEFI security are involved with really important things like changing the components of the computer and how it works, you would have to have some type of security. So for example, you could set up a supervisor password and a user password. And it's like making a Google Doc. So if you had to share something, like you could be the main user of it, and then you could share it to somebody else. But of course, the person that you shared it doesn't have as much access as you do. So the different types of access level is full access, limited access, view only access, and no access. So if you were the supervisor and you had a full access, you could have power over most of the settings and the screens. But if you're the user, then you wouldn't be able to change your supervisor password, of course, because you don't have that kind of power. And for limited access, then you would have some certain settings that you can change. And then for the view only access, it's pretty self-explanatory. You can only see like what's up with the settings. And then for no access, then you can't just do anything about it. And then another type of security feature is the drive encryption. So basically, the drive can encrypt the data into code, and you can't access the data without the passwords. And even if you change it, you would put into another computer, you still can't like open it up if you don't have the password. And then there's another one called LoJack. The persistence module is already in the BIOS. Then you just have to download the application agent. For example, if someone was to steal your device, then you can do three of the mechanisms it has, which is locate, lock, and delete. So maybe if you lost it, you could do those thing where you can like find the location of the device and try to figure out where it was. And then you could also lock your information so that the person who was trying to steal your device couldn't like get into the data. And then you could also delete your information if you're like desperate enough to like hide all of those stuff. And it also has a trusted platform module which stores encryption keys, digital certificates, passwords, and data. And it also has the feature secure boot, which is basically like a security standard just to like prevent unauthorized OS to like load up before it like starts.